Okie dokie. What are we doing? Where's my authenticator? Over there. Okie dokie. What are we doing? I have that on. Gross. Music must have been repeating over and over again. Bruh. Let's see how the servers want to work today. But it's usually fine until more towards the evening. To be honest. Rice takes too long to make. We are in the Tempest. I did spend like 20 minutes yesterday leveling up to 80. So we are level 80. We just need to do the story. That's it. Can't resume it when you're in on a mount for whatever reason. It's so weird. Why? I like the guitar plinking down here. Now, as for where we should be looking, I rather doubt I myself will be sitting around out in the open. I propose we follow the slope down towards the deeper trenches and keep an eye out for rock formations large enough to house a stronghold. Let's be off then, but watch your footing. The ground is still wet and like to be slippery. You know what? Before we really start doing anything, we can do this. Chocobo racing. Just a little bit. Teeny tiny bit. I don't know how rank affects breeding. I need to look that up, but not today. Hello, Martin. You're riding children. Usual. Oh, no! My chocobo has maximum speed. I'm still last. I don't get it. It's got 98 speed out of 100. And I still don't notice a difference. But that's good. Yeah, every time I rank up, all the others also rank up. So I'm just lower than they are. Because it's not enough to just rank up your chocobo. You also have to do chocobo breeding. To breed your chocobos into higher ranks. Or higher, like, tiers. So I'm just on a bottom tier chocobo right now. Tier 1. And it goes up to at least 9. No big reason, just a little bit chill. You see, when you get a rank 9 chocobo, which is what I really intend to do, not doing the racing, you get this very, very important, super ugly helmet. Item, no, where is it? Gold saucer. Filter achievements with gear rewards there. You get this helmet. It looks like a chocobo keeper thing. Perfect for playing like a chocobo themed knight or a chocobo themed monk or something. Eat it. Last time I played a monk, and I played a chocobo themed monk. But the only chocobo helmet I could get is the fat chocobo one. You have just like a gigantic fat chocobo head. Looks funny at least. Now I think you'll find this somewhat amusing. So we took the giant Bismarck whale down so that we could go to the bottom of the ocean. And he like blew a gigantic magic airball down to the bottom of the ocean floor so that we could breathe there. Gasp! So because of that, we disrupted this entire community of fish people to the point where their queen is like having miscarriages and shit. We don't care. Like, out of the way. We're saving the world. The finless ones. They followed me. Why have you come? Was it you who took away our water? Ah, So this is where the Ondo make their home. I had wondered. Pray forgive us any inconvenience we have caused. We were not aware your people lived here in the Tempest. We need this great dome of air that we might conduct the most urgent search, and thus beg you for your understanding. Chieftain, what are we to do? Are you emissaries of the Ancient Ones? Yes! Yes! The mysteries have stirred. We have seen the illuminated land shining through the gloom of the abyss. If you are the emissaries, the chosen, I bid you welcome. If you are not, I bid you leave. I'm not sure I understand. Would you be willing to elaborate? No. I will not elaborate. It would seem not. I suggest we withdraw for the moment. So, what's the plan? Given your condition, I'm reluctant to suggest lingering here. That said, our presently meandering search would proceed far more swiftly if we could call upon the Ondo's local knowledge. Yes, I'd like to know more about this illuminated land the chieftain spoke of. Could it be Emet-Selk's stronghold, do you suppose? Perhaps he lit the lanterns upon his return. We cannot dismiss the possibility, but if these Ondo refuse to speak with us. Robin, do you remember my first scheme for entering Yulmore? How I had planned to ingratiate myself by offering lucrative trading opportunities with the Ondo. The individual I dealt with was reticent in manner and curious in custom, but we were able to reach an agreement nonetheless. I believe that with the right approach, we can build a similar relationship here. What kind of approach do you have in mind? That chieftain fellow didn't leave us many options. If we are to tread the swiftest course, then we must needs locate its beginnings. This plain, our all too dramatic arrival hath thrown this settlement into confusion. Were we to solve such problems as we have caused, and assure our hosts thereby that our purpose here is not inimical to them. Inimical to them, they may yet prove amenable to reason. I smell chores, but very well, if it can be done quickly. What do you think? I have nothing better to offer, but I do worry what will happen if the Ondo's tales end up leading us to a dead end. I cannot say for certain, but I sense this tribe has a deeper connection to the Ascians than first meets the eye. It warrants further investigation. Thus, I cast my vote in favor of aiding the settlement for the time being. We will make allies of the Ondo. Let's do what we do best. I'll do what I can, I suppose. We will make allies with the Ondo. Sure. I'm not a jerk. Then it is settled. Y'shtola, pray proceed with your investigation. The rest of us will see about fostering some goodwill. Robin, you won't believe who I've just bumped into. This is Posh's Owen, the very fellow I did business with prior to our ill-fated stay in Yulmore. I waited and you did not come. Then the Mistel came, but his visits did not continue. I am truly sorry, Posh's Owen. Things did not proceed as planned. Is there aught we can do for you by way of an apology? Perhaps. Wear the dry return. A cavern to the north is home to giant crabs. We do not fear the crabs, for we are the swifter swimmers. But now there is no water. We run, and they scuttle close behind, snipping and snapping with their claws. There are too many of them. Too many. Ah, I believe I can be of assistance there. And what of you, Robin? If you have not found a task, you are most welcome to join me. Indeed, I should appreciate the company. Where the Dry return has a rather ominous ring to it. Does it? I don't know if it does. Crabs! Oops. It's incorrect. Practicing the proper rotation is hard. Done. Well, no, because they are amphibious, we are not. What is curious, however, is the amount of fish who are apparently able to hover. You could crack their shells? You must be stronger than you look. I see you've reached your quota first again. I shall never be your equal in such tasks. Still, I would say we have reduced the local crab population to a far less threatening number. My thanks to both of you. You must have a reward. Nay, Posh Swan. This was to be a part of my apology to you, remember? Besides which, the lack of water is our doing, for which we must also make amends. Might I convince you to tell us something about your village instead? I would very much like to learn more of you and your people. Very well. Before the flood came, it is said that our ancestral home was found in the seas to the south. It was utterly destroyed by the light. Only those who were out hunting survived. They swam, aimless and lost, until they spied buildings here on the ocean floor. Strange buildings they were, and long had they stood under the water. Yet somehow they had been spared the scars of time and current. These structures provided shelter for my people, protection from the tempest's turbulent waters, and the predators which hunted within them. Their very existence seemed a miracle. The first settlers pondered their good fortune. It was clear that the race who had built such wonders had guided their course. And from this, did they discern the truth? That the ancients had chosen us to serve as caretakers of their eternal sanctuary until such time as they returned. Thus, if it is judged that your coming and this great vanishing of water was by the ancients' design, you will find warm welcome here. A truly astonishing history, yet I cannot help but wonder, how will the significance or otherwise of our arrival be decided? The ancients have blessed us with protection and prosperity. If your presence serves to bring us the same, there will be no doubt in the matter. Then it would seem our earlier decision was the correct one. We thank you for your lesson, for the lesson powers on, and will continue to do all we can to assist your people. Should you desire our help with any other trouble, pray do not hesitate to ask. We should return to the task at hand. Only, do try not to overexert yourself, my friend. The risk far outweighs the gain. Ah, Robin. Have you learned aught of note? Fascinating, and precisely the sort of information I was hoping to hear. In fact, if you have a moment, I'd like to borrow your eyes to confirm a theory I've been working on. Come. Now, there are two tasks I would have you perform. The first requires you to inspect the buildings which surround the Ondo settlement and note their most distinctive characteristics. For the second, I wish you to use this knife to take scrapings from one of the remnant walls. Pray, be as thorough as you can. I shall be waiting here for the result of your investigations. Scrape the walls? Can't do that. Distinctive window. The tall, slender towers feature many elaborate windows, the likes of which you have seen nowhere else. You set the point of the knife against the wall, but even after applying considerable pressure, you cannot remove so much as a flake of stone. And what have you discovered? Yes, I would agree that the windows are most distinctive. It would seem the structures appeared the same to both your sight and mine. And you say you could not so much as scratch the wall, even with all your might behind the blade. Robin, everywhere I turn in this place, my gaze is drawn by peculiar materials for which I do not have a name. The buildings I had you investigate are prime examples. They may appear to be constructed of ordinary stone, but I assure you it is nothing of the sort. If pressed, I would describe the substance as a composite of several mineral properties, blended to create a material of unparalleled durability. Even the Ronkan Empire, once the greatest power in Norbrand, produced nothing which compares to this level of perfection. But if not the Ronkans, then who? Who were these ancients the Ondo claim as the architects of their sanctuary? I suspect our answers lies with the reason Emmet Selk withdrew here to the Tempest. He may simply have wished to retreat somewhere where mere mortals would struggle to reach, but there are many such remote locations. Why here specifically? Emmet Selk is devoted to his role, and thus we might assume his choice of stronghold somehow serves the Asian agenda. Or mayhap 'tis a place more dear to him than any other. Are you saying this was built by ancient Asians? That is my theory, that these structures are remnants of a time before history, of a star that was yet whole and unbroken. Such traces in the source would have been obliterated by the succession of umbral calamities, but here in the first they may have remained untouched for millennia. A copy of the mural in the Kitana Ravel. Olmet presented it to me during my visit to Fanoff, after our victory in Colusia. Here, in the first scene, by Emmet Selk's own words, it depicts a city of eons past and the disaster which befell it. The design is much simplified, of course, but do you see the similarities between its towers and those you have just inspected? We are close to the truth, I feel. Let us search the surrounds for another tower, one which matches the picture near enough to remove all doubt. From what I had seen, naught more than sand, and more sand lies to the east, and the south held no such structures. I suggest we try our luck further to the northwest. Find a structure which resembles those in the copy of the Kitana Ravel mural. Search for a structure which resembles one of the buildings in the mural, then inspect it from the survey point. The survey point will be found nearby. Northwest of the Ondo. Okay, let's just go northwest from here then. So if it's from the Ondo Enclave, it might be down there. I want voice acting. Aye, this is the mural writ large. Though I cannot guess at its purpose, it must have been an imposing sight. How much of the tower's height lies hidden beneath the ground, I wonder. Centuries of our history have settled upon such ruins, countless layers of dust and sediment. An entire civilization, its existence forgotten by all except a handful of Asians. And yet it did exist. They lived here, in this city. But let us focus on what we've learned thus far. The Ondo chieftain spoke of a mysterious stirring, of a land illuminated. Judging by his words, he believed this phenomenon related to the ancients' return. Thus can we surmise that what the Ondo saw shining in the abyss was, in all likelihood, yet another remnant of this age-old civilization. And who else would light light the lanterns, as Reen put it, than Emet himself? 'Tis almost certain he is there. But if we are to find this stronghold in a timely manner, it seems gaining the Ondo's trust remains our swiftest path forward. I only hope our deeds are enough to win them over. Thank you for assisting me with my investigations. I shall seek out our companions and share what we've learned. Much as I would like to tell you to sit down and leave the rest to us, your condition demands that we make all reasonable haste. If you're not too wary, it may be useful to speak with Pasha's Oan again, and ask if there's aught else he is willing to divulge. Curry actually turned out pretty good. Ah, Alphino's friend. You and your companions have done much to repair the damage caused when the waters parted. Anything else you can do? Have you been to the walls of the Forgotten? Are they the ruins to the northwest? Yes, that is the sacred site of which I speak. Could it be that your footsteps were guided there by the ancients? Yes! I believe it may be so. Listen then, and I will tell you of our plans to bring light to the walls, that we might answer the shining call of the illuminated land. We have requested a finless craftsman to shape us a sacred lamp. He is odd for a land dweller, choosing as he does to live in the ocean, but his skill is beyond question. It is concerning, however, that we have heard nothing of his progress. If you were to visit this artisan and return with our long-awaited light, then any doubt as to your purpose would be laid to rest. His name is Grenold. You will find his workshop in a metal structure to the south. Oh, to the south? I thought it was to the east. This is how you live on the bottom of the ocean. Oh, there. Oh, that's just great, that is. My mind's playing tricks on me now. Look, Grenold, someone's come to visit you at the bottom of the bleeding ocean. Or it might be as you're a ghost, eh? Go on, foul shade, feast yourself on me rotten soul. I've got no use for it. A craftsman what can't craft is more pointless than a sea slug with a Doman hammer. And that's an insult to bloody sea slugs. Reynolds appears to be suffering from a crushing bout of self-doubt. Maybe you can help psych him up. /psych. Huh? You wouldn't be trying to raise me spirits now, would you, spirit? Not what you'd expect from a servant of the netherworld. Are you Grenold, then? Aye, though I wonder how you bloody well found me. This here's meant to be me underwater sanctuary, a place where I can give myself over to me work, far from the distractions of the outside world. And yet, here you stand. Now, what's so damned important that you dive all the way down to the bottom of the bleeding tempest to bother me? Ah, the Ondo's lamp. Gods curse me, empty head. I not so much as made a start. I'm worth less than a sea slug. Nay, the slime left by a sea slug. Me delivery date's long past, my workbench is untouched, and I call myself a bleeding artisan. You've heard their beliefs, have ya? Bringing light to them ruins will be an act of deep religious and cultural significance. And it was my privilege as a craftsman to be tasked with providing a ritual instrument worthy of the occasion. But I just can't bloody well. Yeah, my mind's bleeding blank. It's like I've pissed away my last drop of inspiration. Tell me you got somewhat to show me. Somewhat else'll give me a muse. Give me muse. Somewhat else'll give me muse a right good kick up the arse. This is why the Ondo want to honor the coming of these ancients, so their answering light's got to blaze with the right kind of brightness. Like the spark of life caught in a crystal. But just being sparkly is not enough. It's got to dance with the joy and sorrow and sense of hardship endured. You know what I mean? Your thoughts turn to Brandon and the crystal you discovered at the end of his journey. Maybe Grenold could find inspiration in that. This is why you have to do the role quests. I did those yesterday. Early in the morning though. So I think nobody was here to see. But I did those. I've let the Ondo down, aye. But more than that, I've let myself down. Might as well go back to mending kettles. Show Grenold a crystal which once belonged to one of Ardbert's companions. Yes. Nice nipples, bro. What's that you've got there? Such striking beauty, it shines with heartache and laughter and the transience of life, like the turmoil of history made manifest. Aye, I can see the brilliance of the crystal's legacy. Ah, you'd never captured such a gleam, not if you labored 100 years. But bugger me if I don't mean to try. Where's my tools, goddamn you? I must set to work before the feeling fades. I can feel it, a vision forming in me mind. Step aside, lad, and let me itchin' hands get to work. And done. I've taken the wonders that crystal showed me and channeled them into a new shape, what befits the Ondo's spiritual character. The fuck? How am I supposed to carry this? Not a bad job, if I do say so myself. And to think I was this close to hanging up my hammer after studying the craft of the ancients. I've been across the lengths and breadth of Norvrend and gobbled up every scrap of crafting wisdom that I could find. But no matter which technique I tried, me work was just no comparison. I couldn't even figure out how they put the damn buildings together. A mystery for the ages. That's what drew me here in the first place. I built my workshop, got the forges burning, then lost me bleeding will to craft. Thank the gods for that crystal of yours, or I might have never gotten it back. I won't pry into your business, but I reckon your little miracle there has been through the kind of journey they sing songs about. The echoes of the memory it holds just speaks directly to your heart. Aye, I can still feel him coursing through me. The inspiration's not fading away, it's welling up, stronger and stronger. Give me the chance, and I reckon I can weave the Crystal Saga into other things as well. But bugger me, I'd almost forgotten the Ondo's commission. If you could drag the lamp over to Toshu's Ath for me, I'll stay here and dream up new armaments for you to try. Do we get the level 80 gear now, right away? I think so. But we'll see if it looks like dog shit. This is our new armor, I guess. Looks alright, a little bit gaudy. I don't like the shield though, looks retarded. We have to use this now though, even though I did like the previous one better. What is it that you have there? A sacred lamp? Then the Finless One has kept his promise. My people tell me of the many deeds you have performed in the name of aiding the cups. And now you come to me bearing the light we had almost surrendered hope of ever seeing. We can doubt your purity no longer. Your arrival was the will of the ancients. Yes, the time for fear has passed. We shall take the lamp and unveil its austere illumination upon the walls of the Forgotten. Gather there with your companions, and we shall speak again once our prayers have been offered. Voice acting?
O stewards of the Ondo, we offer up our light in answer.
That crystal you showed the artisan. Was it... Did it belong to one of my friends?
I thought you were always watching.
I tried to give you a measure of privacy. No one wants a spirit looking over their shoulder every moment of the day.
I'm pooping.
So tell me, if you would, how did you come across that crystal?
I killed your friend.
London's, then. Strange that I should learn such things now, after they're long gone. They were fine friends, every one of them. I didn't expect death to teach me so much. About them, about Seto, about you, about the hope that hides at the heart of this world. I've never been one for idle chit-chat, but if by some miracle I could see them all again, I doubt I would ever stop talking. I'm grateful I got to bend your ear at least. And just for that, I reckon I'll stick with you to the very end.
Nice.
Apologies, we were a little late to the gathering.
It seems we succeeded in gaining their trust.
The delay wasn't exactly welcome, but at least our many hands made light work. And they seemed especially impressed with your contribution. Our hero indeed.
Y'shtola was telling us those structures may date back to the age of the Ascians.
An Ascian homeland. Despite his many protestations, I never quite believed Emmett Selk was telling the truth.
Nor I. But there is no denying the evidence before our eyes. Clearly this was once a great city. A home they would see restored, no matter how many tens of thousands of years it takes.
It's a hollow dream when you think about it. Even if they manage to rejoin all the worlds, they'll never bring back the ones who were lost. But would I have done any different?
How are you feeling?
Fine. Okay, maybe not that fine.
You have completed your devotions?
Yes. To the honored ancients have we offered up our prayers and our gratitude. You too have our thanks.
Might we trouble thee then to tell us more of the illuminated land of which thou didst lately speak?
To the west of here lies a great trench. Some days ago, a light appeared in that endless darkness. Curious, we ventured closer and discovered in the depths an entire city. The buildings we spied were akin to our own everlasting abodes. Impossibly so. We understood at once the ancients had risen. There could be no doubt. Taken with terror, we retreated to the cups, and I decreed that none should enter the trench until such time as we received a sign.
Might it still be possible to reach this city of the ancients?
With no water to drown you, a finless one could now travel there. Yes. I am convinced you are the sign for which we have been waiting. My people will show you the way.
Shall we?
Yes. Yes. Let's go. The chieftain has bidden me guide your steps to the illuminated land. Come, the way lies downward. Follow the path of coral and rock, and join your comrades below. That's a good. It's Always Sunny episode. Always say yes. Yes! No matter what. Just say yes. Say yes to this. Nauplius trying to kill me. Oh. All are gathered then. Then I shall describe the path you must take. Enter the cavern beyond and follow the wall down and down and down. Once at the bottom, find a passage to the northwest. Then continue west and west and west. The way is not simple. Keep your friends within shouting distance and do not stray into the deep. Just before the journey's end, you will find the Caliban Gap and the barrier we placed at its mouth. This obstacle will fade should you raise a hand towards it. We have made it so. A most succinct explanation. We thank you for your guidance. I don't remember what you said. I'd already forgot. Right. Deeper into the depths we go. Oh, I had the wrong gloves on. Maybe that's for the better. Let's change to the right ones. Where are they? Yep. Bit too much white. An Noreen. The rocks and coral bunch up by the cavern wall like a staircase of sorts. But be careful, you wouldn't want to slip from up here. That's why you're standing on the edge. I'd wager these bursts of water could carry you clear to the top again. Not that I'm eager to try. Certainly. Our guide bade us travel to the cavern floor, and thence to the west. Yet 'twould seem these twisting tunnels defy such simple instructions. Rather than rely on direction alone, I suggest we scout with care and relay the path ahead to those who come behind. Oh. Yashola hath forged ahead. Shall we continue our own advance? Yep. The rocks drop off sharply here, but I should think this coral thick enough to serve as a bridge. Do you think there's a sightseeing thing down here somewhere? I would think so. Haven't seen one though. Fighting the camera when you're flying makes me seasick though. Ah, Rob. You have a choice of two routes from here. You can either take the long way to the south along the rocks, or skip along this coral branch, as Alice has done. I, for one, shall be following my sister's example. Gulp. Yep, gulp. Not to it. Alice has already gone on ahead. We should catch up to her. Is this a fate? Don't want to do a fate. There you are. Come on. I think I found the tunnel we're looking for. No sightseeing orbs? Nope. Wait, over there? Here. This must be the barrier the Ondo spoke of. Well, that was rather more arduous than expected. I feel a sudden rush of gratitude for the smooth roads our ancestors cut through the wilderness. It was a treacherous path indeed. Now, I believe one of us needs but raise a hand to banish this next obstacle. Hello, Nicholas. How's it going? Robin, I elect you to do the honors. Gone, just like that. I suppose we should head in. I suppose we should head in. Like as not, this tunnel will be just as perilous as the roads we walked to get here. Let us all stay aware of our surroundings, shall we? Not fighting any stupid fish. What have we got in here? I mean, not that there's really any point in exploring anything except for finding sightseeing orbs. Watch your footing here. I wouldn't envy the climb back up if you fell. See. This place is a reference to Final Fantasy VI. Like, everything is a reference to a previous Final Fantasy title, which is why this game is really just like a gigantic soy face. It's going? Alright. If we weren't so pressed for time, I should like to explore these side passages. Perhaps another day. Nothing here. Oh, there's a dude. A dude's just sitting here fishing. I'm gonna pat him on the head. Pet, it's slash pet. Pat, 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 pat. Yeah, that sounds pretty bad, man.
By the gods.
The Ondo spoke of a city. I did not think they meant an actual city.
Then we are seeing the same view. The remnants in the Ondo settlement were solid material structures. But these... everything here pulses with ether. 'Tis an enchantment on a monumental scale.
It sounds like I've got rats in the walls. It's super annoying. I think it's just my upstairs neighbor's dog is like walking around. You'd think all those tall, dark buildings would be frightening, but for some reason they just make me feel sad. It's big, I'll grant you that, but cluttered city streets are far more conducive to infiltration than wide open spaces. This will work to our advantage, trust me. One cannot blame the Ondo for fleeing the spectacle of these brooding edifices. We, however, have not the luxury of fear. Start making holes. It's a solid. It's solid concrete. So there are no rats in there. Emmet Selk holds the Exarch captive somewhere within the vast city. Yet even if we must search every alleyway, we can find them. When the chieftain spoke of lights shining from the abyss, this is not at all what I imagined. Why would Emmet Selk do this? Robin, did you note the style of the architecture? It is the same used for the remnants at the cups and the murals painted towers. Look closely. Emmet Selk has not simply reclaimed these ruins. He has layered the semblance of an entire city upon them. Gods, the magnitude of his artifice is staggering. Though it pains me to admit, we did not fully understand the feats of which an old world Ascian is capable. It's intimidating, yes, but we have to start somewhere. Why don't we have a closer look at the tower to the southeast? We might be able to reach it from the edge of the trench. How do you even know which direction is which down? Cora Heights. This looks unsafe. Look at the size of those doors. Now I know how pixies must feel. Robin Tia recognized. Welcome to the city of Amarot. Will you be riding the lift? What? Did the building just welcome you? Perhaps it is not so passing strange. Did Emmet Selk not invite Robin to visit his abode? His plain, thy coming was expected. And where will this lift be taking us? The lift services every level of Akora Heights, but is presently configured to convey passengers directly to the ground floor. Well, there you have it. In the absence of some few hundred yards of rope, we have little choice but to accept the offer. With emphasis on the we, I'm not about to let you walk into that place alone. I wish to ride the lift. As you wish. The lift will arrive shortly. Next stop, ground floor. Facilities include the Bureau of the Administrator, the Bureau of the Architect, and the Capital. If mine eyes do not deceive, we stand in some manner of communal square. Just a moment, I thought I saw something. I just can't believe how tall everything is. Seems peaceful enough, he said, tempting fate. Each of these towers seem a veritable city in itself. Even a Gigas would feel inadequate in such surroundings. It's only at this distance that you start to realize just how big the buildings truly are. What did that voice call the city? Amarot? Look, over there. Is that a person? Ah, no, my mistake, that's a giant. It doesn't seem to have noticed us yet. Giant or no, a resident of this place may have much and more to tell us. I say we make the first move. Alphino, you can't just... Ah! Ah! Beautiful. Pray excuse my boldness, but might I ask you a few questions? Oh, what adorable costumes! Are you children out on an excursion? This district has much to teach you. How odd! That sounded like no language I've ever heard, and yet I understood every word. Just as he understood us. Ahem, and which district is this exactly? You must be lost, poor things. You stand in the Polylarity district, wherein lie the institutions most vital to the management of our star. Can you tell us where to find Emmet Selk? Ah, I see. You have come to marvel at the workings of the Convocation of 14. Hardly surprising, I suppose. The whole world holds its breath as the final days draw near, and our brightest minds race to implement their plans. Thus must you understand that gaining an audience at this time will be next to impossible. You should hurry home now, before your families begin to worry. Do you need me to walk you back? No, thank you. We will be fine. Very well. Take care, little ones. What was that all about? To my eyes, these people appear as arcane entities. I suspect Emmett Selk wove them from ether, much as he reconstructed the rest of the city. Final days. Such words well befit the oblivion described to us by the Asian foe. A catastrophe of unprecedented scale which did set in motion the summoning of Zodiark, and thence Hydaelyn herself. But that happened centuries and centuries ago, didn't it? That man spoke as if they were rushing to avert a disaster here and now. Unless, for these people, the distant past is the here and now. I believe thou hast the right of it, Master Alphino. This ethereal Amarot and its residents appear to be phantoms of a different age. Emmett Selk hath resurrected a memory, a moment in time from before this star was sundered. So we find ourselves in a long-destroyed city, inhabited by the long-departed. An unusual situation to be sure, but at least we're able to parley with these ancients. In fact, they seem downright eager to chat. I say we use this to our advantage. Split up, strike up some conversations, and see if we can't learn the location of our quarry. And while we're at it, it wouldn't hurt to wheedle out a few more details regarding this convocation of 14 and their impending disaster. To mingling then. Let's meet back here when our jaws start aching. Polylerite district. What's a polylerite? Loquacious Maritime. I have high expectations for you, my little debater. If you ever wish to hone your skills with a spirited conversation or two, I would be overjoyed to engage you. Oh? Twould seem the hall is host to a most precocious visitor this day. And what, pray tell, shall be the subject of our discussion, young one? Debate me, bro. Ah, the convocation and their handlings of the coming peril. 'Tis only natural that you should have questions. Shall we begin with the members themselves? As all know, the 14 are the wisest and most puissant among us. They are the stewards of order, responsible for decisions which would keep this star turning season after season. Be it the speaker, the Habrea, or the emissary Eludibus, each seat is occupied by an elected sage of surpassing intellect. Logrif, Mitron, Emetzelk, their individual titles have, as a gesture of respect and a matter of tradition, become synonymous with their incumbents. Thus it is with great incredulity that I greet this recent rumor that a seat in the convocation is soon to be left vacant. If proven true, it would be an unprecedented development, and testament to the immense pressure under which our saviors are toiling. In any event, I for one am confident they shall deliver our star unto salvation. He disappeared. I'm gonna get a debate facilitated. Hello there. You're too big. I can't see over the counter. How may I help you, little one? Do you wish to peruse the transcripts of the great debates, or would you like to reserve a room for a discussion? We are here to serve your needs. Can we go behind here? Maybe there's a hidden exploration point here, no? But when you consider the implications of this, trust in the scholars. They will find a solution. I don't have... Can't read it out loud, it's too quick. Anxious, Amartine. Amrotine. Amrot? Amrotine? Amarotine? Amarotine? Amroti? Amrotine? Amrotine? It's unpronounceable. Good gracious, child, where is your family? You should not be alone at a time like this. Run along home, quickly now. Have you not heard? Though yet confined to the lands across the sea, a terrible phenomenon afflicts our star. They are calling it the final days. 'Tis said it starts suddenly, a cacophonous keening from beneath the earth. The sound distorts all living things within our earshot and wrests from us control of our creation magics. Once that happens, all is lost. Fear, pain, despair, every dread impulse is siphoned from our minds and given substance, an eternal fall of fiery rain, an incessant spawning of nightmarish beasts. None can point to the source of the phenomenon. 'Tis as if the star itself has fallen ill, as if a force inimical to life now festers and spreads. 'Tis only a matter of time until Amarot too resounds to that discordant squall. You should stay with your loved ones, child. Stay with them. If you could perhaps explain the finer points of the creation process. Well, let's hear it. Oh, okay. Please, let me know if you have any other questions about the Bureau of the Architect, and what we do here, little one. I'm here to help. Pragmatic, Marty. An audience with Emmett Selk. I'm afraid you have the wrong office, little one, and besides, he will be far too busy to field the questions of curious children. Surely you have been told of the looming catastrophe. Every resource available to the Convocation must be spent upon ensuring our world survives. They have yet to make an official announcement, but it is said the 14 are moving forwards with a plan of scarce credible proportions, one which promises to grant will to the very star itself. They will invoke our mightiest spells of creation to birth an entity of all-encompassing magnificence, and then they will rewrite the laws of existence. It is a huge undertaking, and it must be completed, ere the corruption spreads this far. Thus I say to you again, do not hold out hope for an audience. Oh, did you want to ask me about my latest concept again? The autonomous figures I told you about before. They are utterly without fear or feeling or fear, and will without hesitation or objection carry out their master's orders, regardless of injury or death. Or regardless of any injury or death they may suffer as a result. Truly magnificent, wouldn't you agree? Yes. Oh, it's you, little one. Come to the Bureau of the Architects to track down yet another concept, have we? As you like, but I do worry that you would struggle to utilize even the simplest of our concepts, considering your rather limited creative potential. Ow. What armor is this? Exarchic coat of casting. Oh! See, this is what I'm talking about. There's so much gear in this game that's it's only for women. This is not a man's outfit. Man, where's my lipstick? I keep, like, misplacing it all the time. Don't understand how. There it is. Robin, if it was not certain before than I am now, the people of this city believe they face the end of the world. I cannot imagine what purpose compelled Emet to recreate this ancient Amarot. And yet I fancy I hear his words to us echoing through this ocean trench. He would have his story known. We can compare notes once the others return. Hopefully then our next move will become clear. It would seem our conversations were much alike. A looming disaster, creation magics running rampant, and this convocation's efforts to bring salvation out of chaos. I suppose there was talk of little else in the time when these events came to pass. Ah, Urian J, if I may, what are your thoughts on the ancient's art of creation? A fascinating discipline indeed. Aught the mind can conceive may be rendered in reality. All that is required is a clear concept upon which to focus one's will. 'Tis not dissimilar to the primal rites taught by the Asians, wherein ritual ceremony breatheth life into figments of myth and legend. I see we arrived at the same conclusion then. The people who lived in the age before the Sundering were blessed with vast reserves of mana. No matter how draining these creation magics must be, it seems they paid the cost with not more than a fraction of the ether which coursed through their own bodies. If we were to attempt the same, such spells would soon deplete our energies, and then seek to draw the balance from elsewhere, from Hoard of Crystals mayhap, or from the very land itself. Thus, when this art of creation was placed into our hands, it became, in effect, a means for destruction. An interesting matter, which no doubt bears further study, but despite all these revelations, I worry we are no closer to finding Emet. Has anyone learned aught which might lead us to his location? Not directly, perhaps, or not directly, mayhap, but from what we've heard, it seems the Convocation of 14 is sequestered in the nearby Capitol building. When we went to see for ourselves, the attendant wouldn't let us through without a writ of permission. So we tried our luck at the Bureau of the Administrator, where we thought these permissions might be issued, but the clerk there said he couldn't help us since our names didn't appear in the registry. And that was where I gave up. I wonder though, Robin, could you be eligible for one of these writs? The boys in the lift seemed to know who you were. It might be that your name is registered at the bureaus as well. Worth a look, I'd say. Meanwhile, I'll head back to the capital and search for a less official point of entry, just in case. Pray allow me to accompany thee on thy reconnaissance. An arcane perspective may prove needful. Well, whatever, dude. I think I'd like to speak more of these ancients. Mayhap they know something that could help cure Robin's condition. Would you mind coming with me? Everyone's always surprised. Of course I don't mind. Just lead the way. When Y'shtola and I will busy ourselves with further exploration. There is surely more intelligence to be had. And so we part ways once more. This time, however, let us reconvene in the front of the capital. Welcome back. Are you surviving? Survive the 12-hour workday. Yeah, and there's a counter. Being down. Command unavailable? What the fuck? Screw you then. Bureau of the Administrator. Hello there. I'm gonna talk to this guy first. Oh! I can buy shrimp here? And Gisal greens. Alright, let's buy some more Gisal greens. I guess. They were summoning chocobos back in the past as well. Oh, visitor's writ. Yes, I can assist you. Full name, please. Robin Tia. Please wait near the counter while I confirm your details. Robin Tia, your application is ready for collection. As your residency was approved by Emet himself, further forms of identification will not be required. Here are your application documents. Submit them at the Bureau of the Secretariat, and the clerk will issue you with a visitor's writ for the capital. Who? This guy mends my gear? I don't care about that. This place is so big. Actual enemies. Cubus. Hello, Cubus. What's a Cubus? You work 12 hours, by the way? What the fuck? Do you have like 4-day work weeks or something? Next, please. Visiting the capital, are we? Please, take a seat. Your name will be called once your application has been processed. Ooh, empty seat. There's someone else there already. Oh, we're dying. May I? Other people want me to do some reports by tomorrow, and the reports are barely worked on by the rest of the team. Nice! Because, you know, having multiple people who have been trained on filling these in never happen. Yeah. You, I think, are from a time beyond ours. Have you followed in the wake of FF14? Nay, there is no cause for alarm. I am simply a shade, here and not here. I know only that my name is Hythlodaeus, and that this city is a recreation, a phantom moment plucked from the well of history. These others seem unaware of their pale existence, but I wonder if Emet-Selk's mind was distracted when it came to my reconstitution. A stray thought would have been enough. Hythlodaeus will realize the truth, for example. We were close friends once, you see. Spoiler alert, half the team knows, and I am stuck doing most of it. Yet in spite of my perception, I play the same role as all the rest, a bit part meant to bring color and noise to this well-crafted stage. Too much scrutiny and we shall burst like the fragile bubbles we are. Thus I tell you again, my presence is not to concern you. I wish only to share your company whilst we wait. Imagine a world where you're sitting down, waiting somewhere, and you're actually talking to someone next to you and you like enjoy it. And it's not like literally hell if someone talks to you. If you've come this far, then you know of the catastrophe which awaits us on our morrow. The final days, what began as isolated incidents, soon swelled into a world-spanning threat. The Convocation of 14, well, it was 13 at the time, endeavored to create a will for our star. They would repair the fundamental laws of order and halt the spread of destruction. But creation on such a scale required an immense source of power. Of those of us who still lived, nearly half offered up their lives in the name of salvation. The fuck? And from their sacrifice, Zodiac was born. Just as we had hoped, he reached forth and halted the march of oblivion. Yet oh, how the star had suffered. So many species lost. The land was blighted, the waters poisoned, and even the wind had ceased to blow. Once more did our people give of themselves to Zodiac. Another half of our race sacrificed to cleanse the world, to ensure that trees and grass and myriad of tiny lives would sprout and grow and flourish. The cycle of life had begun anew, and we reconsidered the means by which we might protect it. The convocation decided thus. We would nurture our world until it was bursting with vitality. Then, when the time was right, we would offer some portion of its living energy to Zodiac. In return, he would restore to us those brethren whose souls had fed his strength, and together we would resume our role as stewards. There were, however, those who disagreed with this plan. They argued that enough had been sacrificed to Zodiac, that this new world should belong to the lives newly born. These dissidents surrendered their life energies in the creation of Haydn, an incarnation of their opposing belief, and for the first time in history, our people stood divided. Know you then how this conflict ended? Kinda. I thought you might. Emet has ever been a champion of the will of Zodiac. The original plan may have been set back by millennia, but he will not have abandoned his course. He will pay the price for our return by whatever means is necessary. And though he may carry himself with a certain glib ease, Emet is not a man to bear his burdens lightly. In fact, I imagine they have only grown heavier with each passing century. It is truly a terrible weight he has chosen to carry. Robin Tia. It seems your turn has come. Pray, do not let me keep you. Alright. Ah, there was one last thing. You walk with another at your side, yes? Nay, I see no definite form. Just the faintest suggestion of a second soul. I doubt it visible to anyone but me. Otherwise, I assume only you can see and hear this ethereal companion. Your connection is hardly a coincidence. In our time, the two of you were one. The color of your souls tells the tale. A hue that distinctive cannot be mistaken, no matter how thin the soul is spread. He's big. Hello, Zuka. Ha! This is just the kind of fate I might expect for one such as he. Surely Emet has recognized the hint of him in you. Robin Tia! Fare you well, my new old friend. May you find what it is you seek. He's gone. Your visitor's writ, as requested. When you wish to gain admittance to the capital, simply present the document to the attendant within. Alright. Okay, it's super far back. I'm gonna teleport. does everyone have to say? Dot 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 dot. That's my line. Ah, Robin. Yestola and I have just returned from an institution the locals call the Academia Annider. Well, from its public offices at least. We thought an Alcyon place of learning the ideal spot to research your condition, but it seems we lack the credentials to enter the Academia proper. That's useless. Ah, good, you're here. Everyone seems to be present and accounted for. Master Thancred can best describe our chances for infiltrating the capital. I only hope thine efforts to secure permission were successful. Finally, you were gone so long I was on the verge of mounting a rescue party. How fared you in your bureaucratic ventures? It was easy. Ah, I see my instincts were correct. And a good thing too. Urion J and I weighed our chances of breaking into the capital, and an official entrance is by far the more attractive option. The capital boasteth not a single armed sentry. It would seem that in their time they did not deem it needful to post guards. The windows and doors, however, appear heavily warded. Though mightily did we strive, with strength mundane and magical, we failed to budge them even a fraction of one ilm. Mayhap 'twas simply the case that Emetzel's recreation did not extend to their usual function. We didn't try everything, of course, but we thought it best to conserve our time and energy for more pressing matters. Speaking of which, Reen and I tried asking about a cure for you. The problem is these ancients didn't exist beyond Amarots today. They will happily tell their own tales, but whenever we attempted to explain our situation, the conversation quickly became muddled. What of you, Robin? Was aught worthy of interest said during your efforts to obtain a writ? Yeah, I don't remember what he said, though. I would be a terrible hero whenever they ask, like, did someone say something? I'm like, I don't know, man. Maybe. He said something. A great sacrifice of life in exchange for their brethren's resurrection. Oh, right, yeah, that was important. And you say all the Ascians scheming has been leading to this. All this time, but if they still mean to enact this plan, then things won't end with the rejoining. Aye, I thought we knew their intentions in full. Restore the world to its former glory, and in turn empower Zodiark to reclaim his throne as the will of the star. Yet that was merely a step along the way. I hesitate to put into words, but we have to assume that following the final rejoining, the Ascians mean to draw on the lives of the Source to make their sacrifice to Zodiark. That does seem the most likely scenario. Mayhap those who ally with the Ascians would be spared that fate. But what value is there in surviving when all our history, all our struggles will be erased? I cannot conscience such an act. Of course not. And that's to say naught of what Emetzel plans for the Exarch's power. Do we stand by and let him threaten our future as well as our past? We need to find him, Robin, and when we do, make your mark. Change the course of history in a way that's felt by those who came before, and those who came after, by everyone you've ever met. Change things so that even my other self, dying somewhere in that future calamity, will smile and say, I knew you would win. Is fighting Emetzel the only way? He created an entire city. It will take everything we have to defeat him, if we even can. And if you push that hard in your current state, the light will break free. The decision to press on lies with you, just as it lies with each and every one of us. Shadowbringers was the quest name. Do you remember that talk we had atop the tower in Mordsuki? I'm still of the same mind now as I was then. I don't abandon you, you don't abandon me, and together we make a difference in this fight. There's always hope if we look for it. I saw it again and again as you tore those veils of light from the sky. If we keep taking that step forward, there's a chance we'll find a way to save you. So no matter how long it takes or how much it hurts, you can count on me to keep on walking. All three spoke of the disaster we would bring upon our own heads, the ceaseless conflict. Imagine how he would sneer to see what's become of the first, not to mention your perilous predicament. And yet who can deny the fire your deeds have ignited in people's hearts? You achieved what my logic and ideals never could, uniting disparate peoples under the banner of hope and common purpose. Without you, that giant talus would never have raised its hand. I have borne witness to many such miracles at your side, and would do so again. This is but another obstacle in the road. So come, let us travel it. Drag me through your wonder and danger, as you are wont to do, and I shall endeavor not to slow you down. Do we have to talk to everyone? As thou well knowest, we are to usher Emet-Selch unto his rest. If we are to usher Emet-Selch unto his rest, we must needs bind his Ascian soul, and then shatter it with overwhelming force. The former task requireth orasight, and such I have prepared upon the Exarch's asking, no less, though 'twas ever mine intent to provide said boon. The future whence our noble friends doth hail is a world fallen to Ascian artifice, and he would not see such grim history repeated. In a sense, Emet-Selch's destruction will be the culmination of the Exarch's efforts, a reward for all he hath endured these many years. Yet even as thou stridest into the jaws of peril, forget not but that his fondest wish, and that of many others besides, is to see thee survive unto the morrow. 'Tis in pursuit of that happiness, that happiest of outcomes, that I do pledge to remain at thy side. Thanks, bro. Alright, what's your speech? Our time in the First has been a never-ending succession of trials, as arduous as our path in the Source ever was. Yet, through all our journeys together, through that deep and foreboding wood, you have helped me to stay true to my convictions. Thus would I return the favor, do as your heart decrees, without hesitation or regret, and that is all I will say on the matter. There's some dude here. Well, this has put everyone in a solemn mood, hasn't it? Honestly, we're not even sure this will be the end of it. But I suppose we should speak our minds when we have the opportunity. You taught me that much in Amoraine. So forgive me this moment of sentiment, Robin. By dragging me into this sorry mess, you've given me the chance to think and act as I should have. For Reen's sake. Words cannot express how much this has changed my life, or how grateful I am for your support. So I shall express my gratitude through action instead. No matter where you decide to go, I will be there, guarding your back. Thanks, bro. When Minfilia entrusted me with her power, she warned me that no matter how strong you become, you can still fall victim to despair. You can still feel powerless. And she was right. After you collapsed on Mount Gulg, my hands wouldn't stop shaking. If I made a mistake, if I failed to bind the light within you, I was terrified you would die. Even now, you could be moments from turning, and I wouldn't know how to save you. You, Thancred, the others, you've all been there when I needed help. Minfilia surrendered her life to me, her legacy. I should be ready to do the same for you. And I want to. I do, but I'm not good enough. She told me to follow your example, and I've tried. I've really tried. Sob? Hey. Then you shouldn't hang your head. I shouldn't? I'm saying something deep now. Totally. I guess. Dot dot dot. Cheers. I see. If I'm to become what I wish to become, then are some answers I need to work out for myself. Yeah, that's what I said. No, nothing will come from brooding here in self-pity. I've made my decision, Robin. I'm going with you. Completely impossible to walk straight forward. It's always leading in some direction. Welcome to the capital. All visitors must present an official writ of permission before admittance will be granted. Your documents appear to be in order. You may proceed into the capital, but any guests you may choose to bring with you must remain in your vicinity at all times.
This really is unacceptable. I gave you very specific instructions.
Emmett Selk.
My invitation was for an abomination, ripe with the power to bring about the world's annihilation. Not this half-broken thing. Whatever am I to do with you? And I see you insist on keeping the same familiar company. Are you so lost without them?
It is not he who is lost without the familiar. Not content with remaking an entire city, you aim to fill it with the reconstituted souls of the dead.
I may have gotten a little carried away in my attention to detail, added a few unnecessary flourishes. Well, there's no point trying to hide it. Yes. Once the rejoining of worlds is complete, Zodiac will regain his full strength and shatter his prison. Then we shall offer up the Source's remaining inhabitants in sacrifice, that we might resurrect our brethren who died to bring Zodiac into existence. But what was it that you came here to do exactly?
We came here for the Exarch. He's my bro, dude.
Well, you can't have him. The wisdom that man guards may open up new worlds of possibilities. He has unlocked the secrets of travel across the rift, and through time as well, it would seem. Quite an accomplishment for one of his incomplete nature. I must explore the limits of his capabilities and harness that power for the Ardor. Even now, after everything, you refuse to see reason. You think it unfair that you are subject to suffering? That your lives will be sacrificed for the Ancients? Look at me! I have lived 1,000 of your lives. I have broken bread with you, fought with you, grown ill, grown old, sired children, and yes, welcomed death's sweet embrace. For eons have I measured your worth and found you wanting. Too weak and feeble-minded to serve as stewards of any star. Have your recent spats with Vorthri and his Sin Eaters taught you nothing? Have you not learned that your ignorance and frailty beget only endless misery? How long do you mean to perpetuate this farce? How much more must I endure your bumbling interference? Let us imagine that the laws of reality are again undone and the world faces true annihilation. Do you honestly believe that half your number would sacrifice themselves to save the other? Of course they wouldn't! And if you had witnessed history unfold as I have, you would reach the same conclusion. You cannot be entrusted with our legacy. I will bring back our brethren, our friends, our loved ones. The world belongs to us and us alone.
Oh, he did nothing wrong. He's literally the good guy.
Emmet Selk! We understand, truly, but it makes no difference. The ones you love are in the past, while ours are here in the present. One day, we too will be ashes and dust, but not today. Our time is not yet finished. We share your conviction, and that is why we will not abandon our course.
You think us the same? You think your tattered soul of equal worth to those I lost? Then come. Earn your place. Prove yourselves worthy to inherit this star. Behold. Was the end of our era and the beginning of our great work. A fitting backdrop for your final judgment. I shall wait within, but do not spend too much time on your preparations. There's no telling how much longer the guest of honor will last.
you guys have to say? In those final days, 'tis said that monstrous beasts were set loose in the city, terrors made flesh by sorceries run rampant. If Emmet Selk hath been faithful in his reconstruction, then we must be prepared to face many such abominations. Ready when you are, Robin. If it's proof he wants, we'll give him a fight the likes of which he's never seen. I can feel it, beyond the flames, a darkness waiting to swallow our light. Wherever you are, Minfilia, watch over us and guide our steps. I reasoned that Emmet Selk would not harm the Exarch until he had learned the tower's secrets, but his parting words suggest otherwise. Let us make haste. Your friend may not have the luxury of decades to wait for you this time. I won't ask you to hold back. That time is long past. I'll just try to snuff out the worst of the embers before they reach you. Just say the word, Robin. However harrowing the scenes that await us, they will not sway us from our course. No, I don't trust Alphino with healing me.
Let's give it our all.
My strength is yours.
I don't know if this is like the default party that they want to throw you with here. Alright, fine, let's go with them. Whatever, it doesn't matter. They're all the same anyway. Norvrent, Amaret. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Like, the servers are fucking dog shit. 9006. What is 9006? Come on. Let's see here. No, I don't want to watch the video. Press something so that it doesn't start, hopefully. Where the hell is port forwarding on this fucking router? The annoying part now is that if we hop in, it's probably gonna start disconnecting randomly, because whenever this starts, it usually lasts for like an hour. So trash. Oh, we got thrown back in here. All right. I'm walking the explosion, guys. What? Oh, yeah. Now it started again. But I think I was like considering trying to open ports, but I think if I add any rules, it's gonna reset my action anyway. Come on. Work, you piece of shit. Dude, what am I even fighting here? Is there 2 packs?
Leave the healing to me.
Leaving not in their wake, but blood and ash. Where's the voice acting? Did I get bugged too now? Alright, that guy targets someone else. I still don't know if Circle of Scorn is affected by fight or flight. It increases physical damage, but it doesn't say anything about it doing physical damage or anything.
Just as prayer gives rise to pridals, our dread made manifest our deepest fears.
I mean, it should. I don't see anything. Fast Blade just as an attack as well. Attack. But what does... Oh, we have Confederate. Where do I fit that? This is a problem. Thus did the first doom befall us. This is the first doom. The first beast was striking in its unsightliness. So you do Holy Spirit, Holy Spirit, Holy Spirit, and then last you do Confeito. Just do what they do. I don't remember exactly. The buildings are beginning to collapse. Ugh. Fuck.
I will not hold back.
Final scar. When he does that, that's when you hide behind a rock. And then you run away from him. Because the buildings are collapsing.
Let's give them a show.
Yes, kill him! Unfortunately, even now I don't have a melee character with me. But like even when you have Reen with you, it's still Alice that uses the limit break every single time. Even though she does like the worst damage. Single target. It would not, however, prove the last. His first doom seemed deadly enough not to warrant a second. Would not, however, be the last. The buildings are coming down! Not sure it's worth using Confeiter in an AoE situation. I still want to do it. Twing! I didn't check how much damage it does. How much damage does it? 800 to target on all nearby enemies. Alright. So it is an AoE. Alright. Cool. I want that guy to come further in. Come on. Okay. Big nuke.
Leave the healing to me.
I will not hold back.
The land buckled. The cities burned. The waters ran red with blood.
Or soon. They're mixing text and voice acting. It's kind of weird. And Giga Nuke. Oh. Who's that? Big guy. I don't really know what the point of these guys that target someone else is, other than just keeping the healer on their toes a little bit. I don't know if they're meant to like explode after a while or something, but they don't do anything. Not really. Beautiful. A terror of a different hue. Thus did the second doom break us. It's the second doom. beast bellows and gives birth to terror. A terror which in turn gives birth to new beasts.
Leave the healing to me.
Get out of the AoE! Its gaze turns skyward, and fiery rain falls from the heavens. Whoops. Move target. Gonna head up. Higher, dude. Good luck. We can do it. Maybe. More monsters. Once the fear has taken root, it cannot be expunged.
I will not hold back.
He's back. As if feeding upon the horror, the beast bloats, then shivers, then ruptures. Bam!
Yet this is far from the worst of it. Come, and I will show you. Just a little further.
Yet it was
and
neither
you will
claws
see
nor
the
flame.
end of a world.
Come on, kill it.
Leave the healing to me.
The star was fading. We saw we had to weave its laws anew.
Guys, don't stand in the middle. Can I like pull them back here? Maybe Alphino uses his brain. Yeah, they're still standing in the middle. You're supposed to stand on the sides, otherwise it would get nuked. They keep standing in the middle, but they don't take damage from it apparently. They must be like standing on the pixel on the side of it. Never mind them. Good work.
You underestimate me!
Big boy did.
But between us and our goal loomed a final misbegotten fiend.
Barrier. Chthonic original. Whatever a chthonic is. Chthonic. It was a CH. Thus did the third doom undo us. The largest was saved for last, it seems. From the depths of despair, the last harbinger arose. it does that, you run out to the sides. Or you get fucked. Burial in charge. Isn't this something from the Bible? Oh, it keeps them. Oh. Its voice was fulgent destruction, and none would stand in its path.
You underestimate me!
Again? Oh.
Leave the healing to me.
And you can't fall down here. And as it edged inexorably closer, we knew. Apocalypsis.
I will not hold back.
There'll be nothing left of you but a smoking crater!
Without decisive sacrifice, our star would surely perish. Yes, I finished it off. Finished it off with the cool skin. Now we're gonna be AFK for 30 minutes. Not for despair, not for fate itself, we shall not falter. Where is Emet-Selch? GG, thank you. Be on your guard, this is wholly his realm. This is it, The first and final end. The unwinding of life itself. That's the first time Ishtola has said something at the end of a dungeon.
Well, well, you prevailed.
Of course.
Nevertheless... Your performance was underwhelming, and I remain unconvinced of your worth. Oh, you tower over your misbegotten ilk, no doubt. But should I bring my full strength to bear, well, you would be as leaves in the wind. The gulf between us is a reflection of the disparity between the world as it was and what it has become.
She does this every time and it never works.
Our worlds may not live up to your lofty standards, but they are our worlds, our homes, full of life and love and hope. And we won't stand by and let you destroy them!
Alizé! You are a mistake. For we who have known perfection, the shattered source and these shards are ghastly mockeries of the true world. The ephemeral lives you exalt are pale imitations, utterly devoid of meaning.
Belittle us all you like, but we will rise again and again, and give the lie to your insults through word and deed. We define our worth, not the circumstances of our creation.
More prattle.
Did it?
Fool. Who are you? No one. Nothing. Once I have reclaimed my heritage, my first act will be to expunge your stain from history's weave. My world will have no need for heroes.
And we have absorbed the light
Still fighting the good fight.
from all the light wardens. That's why we're like dying.
It is true that all we hold dear is fated to fade away. But that is no reason for us to forsake it.
To take what steps we may, and thus mark the road for those who would follow. To strive for the best of all futures. Be this not also thy purpose?
presume to speak of my future? And you? Why waste your final moments in futile defiance? Weary wanderer, you've no fight left to fight, no life left to live. You see, the light will not be denied. Surrender to your fate, and let the transformation take you. Rise up in madness and fury. Devour the vermin infesting the land which is rightfully ours. Now, Reed! Now!
But
Fight it. You have to hold on.
promising light.
If you had the strength to take another step, could you do it? Could you save our worlds?
You know I could.
Take it. We fight as one. This world is not yours to end. This is our future. Our story.
No, it can't be. That trick of the light. You are a broken husk, nothing more. How can you hope to stand against me alone?
We stand together!
How? I'm surprised you can stand at all.
I could not well leave matters half-finished. Let expanse contract, Eon become instant. Champions from beyond the rift, heed my call! Can you all?
I challenge you, Emmett Selk.
Very well. Let us proceed to your final judgment. The victor shall write the tale, and the vanquished become its villain. But come, let us cast aside titles and pretense, and reveal our true faces to one another. I am Hades, he who shall awaken our brethren from their dark slumber.
And now, I have to wait for the duty for like 30 minutes. So I'm gonna go to the bathroom. If I can stand up. Oh, we have some people already, apparently. With some luck, might get in. Within our lifetime. And without this collapsing. So, in case it wasn't obvious there, what happened was when the source was split into 13 parts, that means that everyone got split into 13 parts. Or is it 14? Is it the source plus 13 shards? I think it's 14 parts, right? So somehow, Ardbert is one of our shards, of our complete being. And that's why Minfilia saved him. And that's why there at the end, when we were about to collapse and turn into a light abomination, Ardbert like joined his ether to us or whatever. So now instead of being only seven times rejoined, we are 8 times rejoined. So we are literally 1/14 stronger than everyone else, just because we are more rejoined. And that's why we could control the light all of a sudden. And that's also why we looked like an Amartine, because we're someone that Emet knew from the final days. Eight times rejoined. Forever in Beauty Finder Q. No, one thing we can't defeat. Now we just need to finish this, and we need to play all of the patches, and then we need to do the raids. We're gonna at least do the Shadowbringers raids as much as we have time for it. Especially Eden. Unless I end up having to get a bunch of gear for Eden. Might be the case. We'll see. We have until Friday. Which is going to make it very tight to actually finish everything. I don't think we'll have the time to. Time elapses 8 minutes. once we finish Endwalker, we can finally start playing the game. And start leveling new classes from scratch. And doing the side quests. They think I'm joking, but I'm not. Everybody's been bitching since I played, like, back in A Realm Reborn. Everyone's been like, when are you gonna play something else? I'm like, I have no idea. We're gonna level a monk. My monk is already like level 46 or something. 45. I'm gonna get it to 45, to 50, I think, off stream. At least. My summoner is 50. My white mage is 0. But we're gonna level those 3 at the very least. I also want to play blue mage before we stop. And maybe try the Reaper and the Sage. So maybe we can play until Monster Hunter Rise goes on sale. It'll be in like half a year. My wife? Who's that? I didn't know I had a wife. Last time when we did Shinryu, we had to wait for 28 minutes. And then when we did what's her face? Tsukuyomi, we had to wait for like 35 minutes. Honestly, I wish they prioritized these higher level things in the roulette. Because lower level things have more players anyway. Because I had a tank and I had 2 healers, I think. Or was it? No, we had a tank and 2 DPS, but they're gone now. So they just got stolen because someone was doing Ifrit. I want to do every side quest. At least Heavensward and above. That would be nice. Because that's where I kind of think that they start being okay. The side quests in A Realm Reborn are pretty bad. But after that, they started writing all the side quests to be more like little story chains, which adds a lot to the world, as opposed to just all the dog shit stuff you do in A Realm Reborn. A Realm Reborn is so bad. I don't want to do a single side quest in A Realm Reborn. It's not worth it. I wonder if there's actually anything that's interesting there. Like I did the Binding Coil, but I still haven't watched it. And we're not gonna be able to check out everything we need to check out before Endwalker launches. Binding Coil is roughly just an hour though. An hour and a half of cutscenes. If you don't actually do the content, because I can't do that anyway. You can solo it, but you can't do that with the job gear that we have right now. $16 And where are my peanuts? There are my peanuts. Honestly, overall, the changes to the... Those nuts did not go where they were supposed to. But the changes to the classes in Endwalker, for the most part, seems very minimal, doesn't it? What does Paladin get? The shield skill lasts for 8 seconds. It gives you a small regen. It makes the 4 first seconds stronger. But other than that, like, I don't think you get anything other than Confator becoming like a combo. And that doesn't really do anything except for look cooler. Is there anything else you get? Yeah, no, that's all you get. But it's better for the other classes. Because while I still think that Shadowbringers is like it's like 50% better than the other expansions, at least. I still think they ruined tanks. There's so much worse. They're just like really boring now, all of them. They're too simple. They had a lot more to them before, especially Dark Knight. But on the other hand, Dark Knight was a little bit over complex instead. But now they made them all like, they're really, really, really simplistic. If you compare them to the DPS classes, the DPS classes are like 3 times as complicated to play as a tank, at least. Like it's such a massive difference in level. At least depending on which one. Like Red Mage is really simple, but Black Mage pretty complicated to do well with. Gunbreaker, for example. When Gunbreakers finish their 1-2-3 combo, they get like an ammo charge. And that ammo charge is used to do you get like a special combo that does big damage. But that's like the entire class. And you don't do anything else. That's it. You do 1, 2, 3, combo. Then you do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then you have another attack that is the combo. Like it spends an ammo gauge, except it only does 1 hit. And then you do 1, 2, 3. And then you do the combo. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's it. Attack class. After that, the only aspect of it is fitting the big damage part of that, which is the combo, into your damage buff. And then just doing that well. And not like missing your other instant attacks then. Because they also have stuff like this, with Spirits Within and Circle of Scorn, which are instant attacks that you can do between your attacks. Without like picking up a global cooldown. It's why I stopped playing Dawnbreaker. But Paladin isn't much better. Though I do like it a bit better. The only thing I haven't played is Warrior. But I don't know if I would like that better either. The Warrior and Paladin are like the same class. In a sense. Because here you use Requiescat, and then you spam Holy Spirit 5 times in a row. Which is like super boring. Like I really don't like that part of it. Cool! "30-minute queue just to get disconnected. And probably thrown out from that queue. Very based. I think if we are thrown out of this queue, I'm gonna restart my stream. So I'm gonna turn on the DMZ setting in my router, which removes any need to do any port forwarding, which I shouldn't need to do anyway. See if that still solves this. The problem is that it will force a new link for YouTube. And it'll split up the VOD, which sucks dick, but who cares? Servers are gonna be so bad in Endwalker. Yeah, I mean, I might as well. Because it's just gonna... It's not gonna stop. it's gonna keep doing this randomly, and it's gonna like throw us out in the middle of the ending cutscene, or it's gonna throw us out in the middle of the fight, or it's gonna do something god awful. So I'm restarting the stream. The YouTube link will be obsolete. It's gonna start a new one, because YouTube is absolutely the worst fucking website in the world. So I'll be back in like 2-3 minutes. See you then.